still backstage at Folter Records Fest in Friesack, and next to me is Jorre from the band Grafjammer.
Grafjammer,
as I was told, from Utrecht.
Exactly.
From
You pronounce it very well.
Utrecht in the Netherlands.
Utrecht in the Netherlands.
Not in Holland, but in the Netherlands. Right?
In the Netherlands, exactly.
Okay.
Well, Holland will do, but that's not correct. But
So what part of the Netherlands is it?
yeah, Utrecht is the middle part. So in the province is called Utrecht as well.
Oh, okay. So, the main part of Utrecht.
Exactly. Yeah.
He just released an album through Folter Records, who are doing this party here a few months ago. It's called the Zoute Kwel.
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 Yeah.
We have it here.
Yes.
Just like this one. And it has cows.
It does.
On the cover.
It does.
So tell us about the album.
Well, the album, we recorded it already, I think, a year ago, and then released it officially on the 18th, I think it was the 18th of December last year. And we were supposed to do a release party then as well. And in fact, because of all the corona and stuff, we have the release party on the 17th of September. So nearly a year later, or 3/4 of a year later. But nonetheless, actually, we did pretty well. Actually, we're really happy with the response we got, and so we feel quite flattered with the good reviews we got and stuff. So that's really nice. Yeah.
One thing about the album is you have Dutch lyrics, which, from what I could research, are not typical black metal lyrics in a way, but you put stories from your hometown or your home country into a black metal perspective kind
mainly,
of way.
Yeah. I try to stay a little bit away from the more how do you call that, traditional black metal lyrics about Satan and mass murderers, because I think so many bands are doing that. I'm looking for a little bit something a little bit different. So, and I really like language. I like old stories. And I'm kind of a little bit a collector of old stories about my hometown, from history, and from these areas surrounding the Netherlands and stuff. And I really like old Dutch words. And so yeah, so I sometimes steal a lot of shit from old stories and then mix them a little bit with my own perspective and stuff. And just,
so guide us through the album and tell us about certain stories that are featured on the album.
Okay, shall I take it step by step?
Yeah, if you like to.
Well, the first one is called Jajum Priester, and Jajum is like old Dutch. Actually, it's Amsterdam slang. Jajum means Geneva from the time of the VOC, the East Indian Company, and it basically means Geneva priest. And it's both a bit. It's an homage to one of our favorite bartenders at the place where we rehearse and where we that's like at our second living room. And at the same time, it's like a bit of a tribute to two old bars in Utrecht of really ill repute. And at the same time, it's a story about like a fictional, unlicensed bar. You know, like in the Middle Ages, like on the wharves in Utrecht, we have these wharves, which are like kind of cellars on the canals, really dark, really musty and stuff. So it's like a bar where, a lot of fornication and alcoholism and really a bad place, combined with like reminiscings of these two old bars in Utrecht where I used to go like about 10 years ago. So so I mix it all up and stuff.
Another song about shady areas, maybe of Utrecht, is the third song, which I'm not trying to pronounce, but the translation would be self-mutilators and paint stripper drinkers.
That is right.
So what's that about?
It's about, you have the Utrecht Central Station, and nowadays they rebuild it completely. But about 5 years ago, it was they built it in the 70s and like took down a whole part of really beautiful part of Utrecht and destroyed it and built this hideous big shopping mall with the central station. And in the 70s it was hailed as the new building style. Even people from Japan were coming like, oh, this is the future. And very soon it turned into like a cesspit full of homeless people and junkies and who find our place to sleep. And yeah, that was really like terrible for you. You really didn't want to go walking there at night, and people were dying and on heroin and stuff. So that's one part of the song. At the same time, it hails to coincidentally below the fundaments of the central station. There is a medieval graveyard. They found like skeletons because where the central station is now, that used to be outside of the city walls. And there used to be like a cemetery for unwanted people, for like people who were sentenced to death, witches, homosexuals, babies who died without being baptized. So it's really like a graveyard for deplorables. And well, that's, yeah, self-mutilators and paint stripper drinkers really hails to like the junkies of today, and their medieval counterparts who lay buried beneath the. But it's kind of fascinating that it's always been a place of like of sorrow, you know.
You did a T-shirt design for that song, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Looks kind of cool. It's like a beast or something pouring something into a glass, if I remember.
Yeah, true. Yeah, when I started drawing it, it took me a long time because I can't really draw, so it takes me a lot of erasing and trying again. But the idea was a bit of what I had in my head was kind of a etiquette of like an really old Geneva bottle, you know, basically like poison, you know, like gut rot, really cheap alcohol they will be selling. So that was the idea, a bit of and I kind of stole a little bit from old like Art Nouveau advertising and stuff. So I nicked a little bit here and there and then combined it into the T-shirt. Yeah.
So another story about the album you want to share with us?
Let me think. What I really like is the Bijlman from Utrecht, which meaning like the X-Man of Utrecht. Utrecht is like the medieval name for Utrecht. The name Utrecht comes from Ultrajectum, because it was founded by the Romans, a Roman fortress, and Ultrajectum really means like the end of the road, because across the river started like the Badlands with only the Frisians, and well, even the Romans didn't want to conquer there. They were like, okay, fuck that, we'll just stay here and build fortresses. And then in the Middle Ages it became Utrecht. And if you look at the old waterways and street plan of Old Utrecht, you see like a figure of a man holding an axe. And of course the major historical consensus that is purely coincidental and like a form of like psychological projection. But of course a really old and arcane theories that it is not by accident, but it's by design. And not that I believe it, but it makes kind of a nice story. So the story is about, or the song is about like a really rotten nightly walk of the town with all the terrible places, like the part of, because it's kind of coincidental, for example, where the blade of the axe is in the figure, that used to be the place of the executions. And like in his knee, there is a stone, a big stone, which is with a sacred chain to a building, because it's said that it's a stone that's possessed by the devil, and because the chain has been baptized by a priest in the Middle Ages, so now the devil has no power over it anymore. And so there are very much more points on that route, and that yeah. Well.
So from what I just heard is that you put much effort in the lyrics and in the general not image, but you know the visual or conceptual side of the band.
Yeah, I try, because yeah, basically I just like to do it, and I really like I said, I can enjoy myself evenings with reading in old books and looking up stuff on the internet. So I can really like with the lyrics, although I know it's just, I mean, most people won't even read it, and I don't care, but I really can think about the whole day about a certain line and change a little bit of words and stuff. So yeah, that's.
There are many bands from the Netherlands, coming from the Netherlands, singing in Dutch language, like metal bands.
More and more, actually. More nowadays. More and more are coming up. Yeah, true.
Is that how does this come? Because you know, when I grew up with metal, the only Dutch band I probably knew was Gorefest, and then maybe got dethroned or
you had Sinister,
Asphyx, bands like those, Soulburn after that, and it was mainly death metal. And now it's more and more black metal. How did this come? That
I have absolutely no idea, actually. But it's true that more and more bands are started singing in Dutch, and more black metal bands. I don't know. I think it's just it's one of those things that just a movement of a scene, you know.
So there's no connection between your band and the other bands, or is it just?
Sure. Well, we have a couple of like we call brother bands. Like we have Vrang, also from Utrecht, and we share our drummer. And they also do some stuff in Dutch and stuff. We have more bands who in Utrecht and stuff start using more and more Dutch lyrics. But it's not a plan or something. We say like, okay, you are doing stuff in Dutch, we go do stuff in Dutch as well. I think it's kind of a bit of a natural thing. But I like it because I think it makes stuff much more interesting.
One of the bands you're connected to, also not a Dutch band but a Swiss band, is HARDLINE.
Oh yeah.
I remember your last gig was at the Dark Pass Festival in Berlin 1.5 years ago. I think Vrang played there too.
I think Vrang played as well. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And HARDLINE as well. Yeah, that was a great party. Yeah, it was the last party before we went out with a bang and everybody went down in lockdown. But that was great fun. Yeah, but HARDLINE is they're good friends of us. Actually, the vocalist of HARDLINE is the one who painted the cover. Yeah.
Patrick. Yeah. We did an interview with him last time.
Really?
And he fooled us because we were supposed to do the interview in German, and he started speaking in his strange Swiss accent.
And it's Schweizerdeutsch, which is absolutely unintelligible.
Definitely. You have another connection to Berlin, which is Folter Records. How did you get in touch with them?
Actually, Jorre, our guitar player, he's really the man of the networking and stuff. So he talks to everybody, and suddenly he came into contact with Jorre, and he coerced him to like release our album, and that was of course an offer we could not refuse. So we're really happy that he did, because it got us with Grafjammer more on the radar than our previous releases. And I also like to mention that actually since our first album in 2014 already, I think, all our albums have been released on tape by also a German Berlin label, Black Tapes, from Matthias Frenzel. So both our record tycoons are now from...
So Berlin is your second home, basically.
Actually, yeah, it's a lovely town, by the way. Yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah, I like it a lot.
So what does the future hold for Grafjammer?
I don't know. I have no idea. I think we thinking about doing first a little bit, maybe thinking of doing a split with another band, and it's still. So I don't want to announce it yet because it's still not completely sure. But that's the first thing we want to do, and then probably we will write a new album. I have a lot of ideas for the new album. And after that, we'll just see. I hope the COVID will clear up, and then we can start playing a little bit again. So that's basically. I don't think we are really a band who really plans a lot. I mean, we don't plan songs either. We just start with a riff and then okay, this works and it sounds or just this sucks and then we chuck it and then so yeah. We're not really a band who really takes it that serious. It's just a lot of fun.
Also a lot of fun is listening to Grafjammer live and on tape and on CD and on vinyl probably.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
After the pandemic, during the pandemic, whenever you have the chance, check out Grafjammer, go to Utrecht, go wherever they play, check them out, have a beer with them.
Absolutely.
And
be welcome.
Be welcome and enjoy.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much for having us. Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.